Hello and welcome to this Forex Preview at xm.com. I'm Maria Pachardis, and joining me is investment analyst Christina Parthenidu. We'll be discussing upcoming Canadian data and the potential reaction in the loonie. So Christina, we'll get employment data for November on Friday. What can we expect given that virus infections spiked again during the fourth quarter and caused the government to reimpose lockdowns, albeit less restrictive ones?
Hi, Maria. Indeed, the fourth quarter was the worst in the pandemic crisis, not only for Canada, but for the whole global economy as regards the rise in new infection cases. But the new lockdown measures are less restrictive than the measures imposed back in March. So the GDP contraction in the fourth quarter is not expected to be as dramatic as in the second quarter. Perhaps the labor market may not get hit as hard as it got in the second quarter, but this doesn't mean that it won't face more weakness because businesses are expected to continue to operate under limited capacities, and more people might apply for unemployment benefits until the government ensures that a large part of its population has been vaccinated. So this week, markets forecast that in November, the economy has created 20,000 new job positions, which is fewer than 83,000 created in October and much smaller than 378,000 registered in September. And this could be just a sign that we return to normal levels because the majority of people who were forced to leave their work because of the initial lockdown have been rehired. Moreover, the unemployment rate is not forecast to rebound. It's expected to remain steady at 8.9%, which is still above the 2009 peak, but as long as it's not rising significantly, I think that this is that the economy is heading to the right direction and probably to the pre-pandemic normal levels.
Okay, now regarding upcoming financial plans, what is the Canadian government planning to do in terms of additional stimulus? And what about the Bank of Canada? Are we likely to hear anything new regarding its interest rate when it meets next week?
Well, unlike the US government, the Canadian government announced a new fiscal stimulus plan this week, saying that it will extend its existing programs by $25 billion and promise to spend more if necessary. Also increasing wage subsidies to 75% of business payroll costs. Of course, in the coming months, it will be more careful with its spending because fiscal deficit is already close to 140% of Canada's GDP, and the health community has already found a treatment for the virus. So, as the finance minister, Chrystia Freeland, said, the size of the stimulus will not be unlimited and will depend on how the unemployment rate and the hours of work will change in the coming months. Now about the Bank of Canada's meeting next week, I think that it will provide more liquidity to support the economy, but it will avoid a rate cut and probably talk down that scenario and announce more asset purchases instead. It has higher rates than the Fed and the Bank of England, so this is positive for foreign investments, and I don't think that it would like to lose this advantage unless conditions surprisingly deteriorate. Also, it has one of the highest, and a drop in borrowing costs could only worsen that situation.
So taking all this into consideration, what reaction might we see in the loonie? And is there anything else we should look out for?
Currently markets are already pricing in some weakness in economic data in the fourth quarter. So I don't think that Friday's jobs data will cause much reaction unless the numbers surprisingly show a brighter picture, helping the loonie to extend its upturn against the US dollar. But the NFP employment report is also coming out at the same time. And today, OPEC Plus oil producers are also meeting to discuss about whether they should introduce more supply cuts or ease the existing ones. The headline so far suggests that the group is thinking over gradual increases because of the vaccine news, and that pressures oil prices and therefore the loonie so far. But let's see what will happen.
Christina, thanks so much. And thanks for joining us at xm.com.